So we got Valencia against Panathinaikos, which will be very interesting series, one of the most ones in between those playoffs of Euroleague. On one side, we have Valencia, which did not struggle a lot through the season. On the contrary, they were very good, especially at home with 16-3 record against the other teams. They also won both of the games before in the season against Panathinaikos, which could be an indicator of what the series will be. Pedro Martinez, Valencia coach, first season for Valencia in Euroleague with him. He earned the prize as the best coach in the Euroleague, and there's been also some contrast with Panathinaikos coach Ergin Ataman. There are two different teams here that are going to play. On one side, we have Valencia, which is one of the best teams with their defense. They do not have a rim protector, a classical rim protector, but they force players not to go inside the area with high pressure defense. And as I was telling before, they are one of the best defense, even though they do not have a classical rim protector. So they practice a lot to put the pressure since the first seconds of the action. On the other side, we have Panathinaikos, which is a very good team for the players, even though they do not have a high chemistry built through the season because of many star players such as Kendrick Nunn, as we see in the tabs here, but also Resort, Lucas, and also the addition of Shorts from the start of the season, which was not very good, and later in the season of Nigel Hayes-Davis, which was the MVP of the Final Four last year. So basically, Valencia also had some players through the season that helped to maintain their high style of playing. At the beginning of the season, there were De La Rea, firstly. Then we had some addition by Darius Thompson. Then we had Jean Montero, which is seen here in the tab. But I just discovered through statistics that one of the best players for Valencia was incredibly Matt Costello, because with him they had the best defensive rating and the best offensive rebound percentage, which would be two case statistics to use against Panathinaikos, which basically is a offensive-oriented team first, and then they are very poor at the defensive rebound percentage with just 13th in the league. So basically, having someone who has more possession through the game is basically a big help in these situations. As I said before, the two games in the season are in favor of Valencia, and they should continue to play how they played through the season, so with high pace. So in favor of that, they are the first team for total points scored with just the 9th offensive rating. So basically, they increase their number of possessions through pace, and they attack within the first seconds of the actions, and that could damage a lot of Panathinaikos, which are not very good in covering up from fast breaks or whatever. So basically, that could finish with some easy basket for Valencia. My personal opinion is that if Valencia continue to play how they played through the season and not to be scared by everything, so I mean, if they're as good as they've been through the season, they're going to win and to pass and advance to the Final Four. Maybe not very easily. They're maybe advancing with a 3-1 or even to a 3-2 seed, because at least one of the games played in Panathinaikos home will be taken by the Greens. But if the Greens find in some way 2 players or maybe 3 players per game that are increasingly good than the usual, so maybe, as I said before, Nunn, Lesort, Lucas, Shorts, but even Hernan Gomez or some other guys from the bench, or Mitoglu, I don't know, maybe many of that, they could change how the playoffs series is going to be. In my opinion, we'll see Valencia in the Final Four, but this is, I think, one of the most open series of the playoffs.
Yeah, one of the most, balanced probably series of the playoffs, because Valencia is not a typical second seed in the Euroleague, and Panathinaikos is not a typical seventh seed in the playoffs. You mentioned the rebounding struggle by Panathinaikos, and I want to mention the rebounding strategy that Valencia and Pedro Martinez act during the games, which is obviously the tag-out strategy. I analyzed it just like the Valencia system in a video that I leave in the info cards up here. But, as you said, if Valencia keeps playing the type of basketball that has characterized their whole season, they're probably going to put Panathinaikos in a very tough spot. And, I feel like this Panathinaikos team, even though they get past this series and they get to the Final Four, talent-wise, they have what it takes to take the championship home. But I don't know, as you said, talking about the chemistry of the team, if they're on the same page, we can say. So I don't know if they have every characteristic needed for a deep playoff run. But overall, I agree with you, and I see Valencia getting to the Final Four.
Yes, they might find the chemistry also in the series, because I don't know if the rumors are true, but Panathinaikos is just one of the few teams which is not involved in any transfer news. So Olympiacos has got it, Fenerbahce has got it, Zalgiris has got it, Barcelona too, Red Star, also Valencia. Is spread some rumors that Darius Thompson will leave, even though no Panathinaikos players were involved in those rumors. So that could be also, I think that everything is going very good, and Ataman is finding the key to boost his players. On the contrary, it could be like something has already happened and they are just keeping their mouth shut, and then just everybody is going to leave at the end of the season. I don't know. That could be very interesting to see, but they're not the rumors which I interested into, but the games that I hope the good games we will see.
Yeah, and the Final Four is in Oaxaca too, so this might also, encourage the Panathinaikos players to want to get to the Final Four even more.